So this is our movie review of One Piece Film Red. You have myself, Jochik, Jagad, and Justman.
You're talking about the filler episode, Film Red,
Yeah. So where do we begin, bro? Where do we begin with this movie?
We're gonna start this off. Film Red sucks.
Oh, it is a full spoiler review, by the way. So if you're
Yeah.
watching this and you're like, "Oh, I'm not gonna get spoiled," nah. We're gonna
This
spoil the
shit
fuck out of it.
Okay, there's moments that are good, and there's moments that we can kind of extract from this movie that are worth noting.
So can I just?
But overall, like, I don't know how this beat Jujutsu Kaisen and like box office sales and
It's
shit.
the fandom.
How did it beat?
It's the fandom.
How did it beat Demon Slayer?
Even Demon Slayer, I don't know how it
It's
beat
the
anything.
Okay, well, okay.
What do you mean? Okay.
Don't even okay. Don't even okay. Don't
Don't
even
okay
okay that. Yeah, sure.
Don't
Yeah.
okay.
What I'm saying is the fandom for One Piece is way bigger
Yeah.
than Demon Slayer. I feel like the Demon Slayer fandom is all little kids.
Yeah, I guess, but like,
Yo, no offense, guys.
like, it's
Yeah.
okay. So, okay,
Just one thing can I say before you go on?
Yeah,
Bro,
go
the spoilers that I had seen for this movie, all wrong. So can somebody tell me, and this might be a spoiler thing, where did it say that did it come out on an SBS? Like
That what?
where did it say that Shanks is Exhibit's son?
Nowhere.
doesn't why.
Okay, so the One Piece wiki has that up that Shanks is Exhibit's son.
That's just false.
That's a
And
theory.
and
just
no,
false.
but it's like, oh, this is factual, and
No.
like it's on the fucking wiki.
No.
So I had read that thinking that this was
So-
something going to be
so
revealed
It was
in One Piece Film Red.
the only thing we get.
it was a theory that where when they had the God Valley incident,
Right.
that Shanks was actually a kid that a baby that Roger brought onto his ship.
Which
and then they-
we do get confirmation of that in the film
In the
because
film Red, when he did the same thing with
Uta,
Uta.
yeah.
He
yes.
kind of
Yeah.
remembers the
like,
same
oh,
thing.
like
where
I was
he
on a
looking
little
up-
kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get a little bit like, and we already knew that, like you knew he was on Roger's ship from like way
For
back
a while,
when.
but we didn't know he was a baby on the ship, right? That's
It was
another
like
thing.
more or less like confirmed that like he grew up on the ship, like he was.
Yeah.
They found him as a
And
baby.
so the other thing was, it also says that Shanks is the observational hockey killer.
They did reveal that in
Where
a SBS
in SBS,
that he was observation.
I thought that was like a Film Red thing where we were
no,
gonna see him
that's
do
been
some
we've
shit.
I've known that for like a couple of years now.
Years now.
Couple of years. Yeah.
Couple of years. I swear it's been like
At
fucking
least
5 months.
at least 1 year. At least 1 year.
No.
They revealed that he was the hockey killer like post Whole Cake Island.
I don't know if it was a couple
but,
years,
but during
Years- I'm
during
thinking
Wano.
but
it's-
it has to be at least a year.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
not
At least a
max
year,
years.
exactly. But like
Yeah, max a year probably.
I think it was 2 years, just because like I guess like it's 2022 now, so I think it was 2 years because
I swear we talked about it on the
Maybe,
pod, bro.
The
It
hockey
got
killer.
revealed while I was on the pod, so it couldn't have been more than a year ago.
Fuck no.
Yeah, bro.
The hockey killer thing, we've
Yeah.
known for so long.
When?
I personally,
No,
I've
it's
known
not
so
so
long.
No, because
bro.
we literally talked about this on the phone. Remember? I was coming back from work and I was like, oh yeah, I saw this what is it called, spoiler for Film Red, and you're like, word, Matu sent me this spoiler too, that Shanks is the hockey killer. I was literally driving back from work. This was when we had started the podcast, so there's no way it's been over a year.
I don't know if we started the podcast then, but
I'm
like
saying
for
it
sure.
though.
Yeah,
for
it's-
sure,
yeah.
It was a
like
year, I
a
think.
max year.
I think it was a year.
It's not.
I think it was a year.
I don't think so. It's been a couple of months.
Like, because the hockey killer thing was like, they already had this information in the
Yeah.
SBS where he has the most like strongest hockey and all that.
Yeah,
Where you already like maybe not the term hockey killer,
yeah.
but you knew that his hockey was vastly greater than everyone else's. Where he will always beat out anyone in a hockey
Okay.
hockey versus hockey fight.
Yo, which
So-
another thing in film
And that's
Red
something
that I
that,
didn't
that's
kinda
something
like,
that we knew
Yeah.
like that like.
So
I knew
getting
for so
back into
long.
the film.
in film Red, that like something that I didn't like, which like I guess it kind of puts perspective into like maybe Shanks isn't as like strong as we thought. But when he
Yeah.
uses Conqueror's hockey, I thought he was gonna wipe more people.
People.
out.
No,
Yeah.
I think like how strong. I think they perfectly displayed how strong he was, in the
Because-
sense that everyone else is tapering up to his level. Where you
Yeah.
have Luffy as a fifth emperor and stuff. Where like it plays in because if they had showed him so much higher, where there's such a big gap,
Yeah.
you would have
No,
been like
when we
think-
see
when you-
Green Bull in the manga, feel his Conqueror's
Yeah.
hockey way different to compare to how Kizuru
I
felt.
mean,
Yeah.
that's true.
Conqueror's Haki.
But
Yeah.
Fujitora did mention he's like,
yeah,
you know,
Fujitora too. This dude
no,
was
no. But they
No.
they felt it. Okay, first of all, if you're at that level, Admiral level, you're not like the Conqueror's Haki is enough to be like, okay, like you can feel his presence, you know he's there. Green Bull was shook because he's like, I can't take on Shanks when he felt it. That's what he did. These guys already knew that Shanks was there, and then when they felt it, they were just like, we're not ready
Plus
to go
there's
to war.
Plus
They
there's
literally
two
were like,
of
we're
you,
not ready to
right?
go to
You got two
war.
admirals, and you're like, okay, I got like my boy by my side. Maybe we can do some shit.
Yeah.
But then you're
Yeah,
like, I
maybe.
feel it. Like, wait, never
But
mind.
even Fujitora
Yeah.
was just like it didn't seem like he was shook in what
yeah,
just happened.
yeah, because he was like, yo, if I let this go, I might as well still have my eyes. I'm
Yeah.
like, bro,
Hold on.
what?
Okay,
Shanks is
hold on.
stomping you.
That's what I'm
Just
saying.
okay,
Yeah.
first of all, just going to the beginning, I
Yeah.
like the way they opened the movie up, where they're kind of going more in depth, where they're like, yo, people are oppressed. Sometimes the Marines
Yeah.
aren't there,
Yeah.
and when they're not there, like
Yeah.
who do they look to?
Right.
Like the whole
right.
opening was
That
like,
was good.
It was a great opening.
Yeah.
And
But-
even when they had Uta do her like initial concert,
Yeah.
it was like, yo, like you're actually sitting there watching. It looked like such an amazing concert.
It
Like
did,
you're sitting
it
there
did.
like visually, it just
It
looks
did.
so great.
But I see.
And
yeah.
even like the conversation like between her and like when Luffy pulls up and everything,
Right.
it's like
right.
all that shit was cool.
I thought the way the movie was gonna progress, though, like I didn't think it was gonna just be like, because they just started right away with them in the concert, right?
Yeah.
It
Whereas
felt-
other One Piece films, if you've seen them, it shows Luffy guys arriving to the island, then the events transpire at the island, and then so on
I
and
feel
so
like so
forth.
much shit
it
to cover
felt-
that they can do.
It
Yeah,
felt,
that's true,
It
that's
felt like
true.
they threw so much shit in there, and
Yeah.
it was just going too fast, where they weren't letting things breathe,
Yeah.
and it was just shit. Like it was just a shit show.
So I remember you had mentioned in like a previous.
What
or-
I thought, like the theory of like the dreamland
The
and like,
dream shit.
I had mentioned that too. That it was
Yeah.
a dream thing,
Yeah.
and
I feel like we all kind of
Yeah.
and it did work into that
with
dream
the song.
it did. It
perspective,
did.
right?
Yeah.
Where I was
Previous
because
plots
this was
that,
before
like,
we knew what Egghead Island was, and I was
Mhm.
saying like,
Mhm.
in the way that like, I thought like none of those guys were actually alive, and she was actually like, she kept the whole thing in a dream sequence.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then like, and you were saying like how
like she's not alive.
she's
yeah,
not
yeah.
dead, like
yeah,
she's
yeah.
gonna die, and as soon as
Yeah,
the
yeah.
dream sequence is done,
Right.
she's dead.
Right.
But it turns out it's because she ate some mushroom and she's just kind of like,
Staying awake.
as long as she stays awake.
yeah, and then she's she's gonna die by the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you guys think? No, this is just like a random side thing that I thought of while the movie was going on. Was like, did Blackbeard eat that fruit?
No, and then no, that was it. Because
The
The,
wake
Here-
one.
the
no
mushroom.
Oh,
Yeah.
from back in the day.
Because he's
Because he's just been awake. Right?
He's been
Exactly.
awake. So what, you think he's consistently just eating these mushrooms,
no, because
or he?
I think because what they said was if you eat it once or something, it
No,
causes
she
you to stay awake.
consistently
But
was
it says
eating
that
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he eventually dies. So
You
it's
eventually
kinda-
die.
But I'm like, if he because he was a kid, he would have died way sooner.
Yeah.
Like he would.
Mhm.
Yeah. There's no
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
That was,
Mhm.
yeah. But dude, the problems with this movie, man. First of all, normally you have a clear cut indication of when these movies are, like in what arc they take place.
Yeah, this one doesn't. make
This
sense.
one, you're seeing segments where you're like, okay, maybe this happened in Whole Cake Island because for some reason Big Mom's still alive at Whole Cake
So
Island.
the other thing is
And
like,
that's
in the
at the very
manga,
beginning.
but in the manga, right? Like somebody had pointed out that like they made a point to say that Big Mom's still alive. Like why would he
like that
go-
she's not actually dead.
that she's not actually dead?
But you know that she's not on island.
Yeah.
So it was kind of weird to see that, and then you're
Yeah.
like, you're seeing elements of like, you don't see. I don't think I saw Zoro with
No, you
his
don't.
new sword.
You didn't.
No.
You did not. Not
Right?
Enmon and no advanced
And then you're seeing them like, okay,
Jimby's on the crew.
Jimby's on the crew, so
Yeah.
you know that it has to be post Wano type of thing,
Mhm.
and
That
then
makes no sense.
right, like it's like where does this lie continuity wise? Because if this is post Wano Luffy,
Randomly goes into Gear 5 like out
Yo.
of fucking nowhere.
Yo,
Hold on,
biggest
hold on,
fucking
yo.
spoiler ever.
that's
like what
so
the
fu-
fuck?
yo.
No, I
like-
told you that. Though.
I know.
So they
But
showed- so they
when you
showed-
told me, I thought it was like a glimpse.
So because
Oh yeah, no, because I thought it was a glimpse too, like
So
just
they-
like maybe in a
they
shadow. or
showed
something.
Yeah.
they showed Gear
They
4.
just showed it.
Yo,
Blatantly,
hold on,
in
blatantly.
color.
They-
yeah,
they
face.
everything.
They showed it in
Everything.
Gear 4, and then they showed Gear 4 Snake Man, and then from Snake Man they transitioned into Gear,
Gear
5.
5.
But it was so
You're like-
random.
And then the fact, like, I was just thinking, like, yo, they're having Gear 5 Luffy equate to, like, Shanks doing this.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, this is so weird, because I don't personally think they would even need to go Gear 5 to fight this fucking boss
No.
thing. So I was like,
Yo,
it
let me
makes
actually
sense.
get into
I
that.
feel
Like,
like,
it
I
made
feel
more
like in the way
sense.
that they were playing the storyline, where like somebody has to hit them outside at
Yeah.
the same time that they.
That
Gear
was-
4
Yo,
Snake Man.
Okay,
is
I
alive.
remember
And then
my
the
train of thought. Hold on, wait. I remember my train of thought that I had lost
Okay,
earlier.
okay.
Remember how previously you had
Yeah.
said that there was like different different like storylines that we're gonna take for this movie?
Yeah.
There's two different storylines, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
One was the Bond Clay one,
Yeah.
much better movie. that would have been a much better movie if they followed the Bond Clay timeline.
Wait.
Remember you saying how the original plot of the movie was supposed to be them trying to break out Bond Clay?
Break out Bond Clay.
That would have been a way better movie. And you know what? At the very least,
yeah,
he would have been in the film. And I would have been happy.
Yeah.
That's all I need. That's
No,
fine.
that's
He's the
true.
fucking man.
But yeah, honestly, this movie.
But yeah, going to the observational hockey thing
that's what, let me.
fucking makes zero sense.
No,
So
that made no
basically,
sense.
like
So-
they had
so the-
Usopp's observational somehow be able to see through his dad's
Dad's eyes,
to
and they
see
could
what
line
they're
up what
seeing.
they're doing.
It made no
Yeah.
sense.
And then in the same way, like Katakuri was able to do the same thing
With
through
Brulee.
his
With Brulee,
Brulee's
yeah.
eyes.
And that
Yeah.
also made no sense.
Yeah.
And you're just sitting there like that's not how it works. And like
Yeah. The only
I
way
can-
I can see it working
if
is
they
if you're
expand there later. But
I
even
guess.
then, it's like what kind
You've
of
No, no,
already
no.
chemistry?
expanded-
The
but you've
only
already
way-
expanded observational into
To that
future
extent,
sight.
to see future.
the only way I can see it working is if it's like, because again, hockey is will, right?
Yeah.
If your wills align, then you can like kind of see what the other
Yo,
person's
but the
doing.
thing is with
But you
Usopp,
have to have like
okay.
a familiar connection, and your will has to be the same.
And the problem with Usopp's
they-
dad is they never had that. Usopp's dad left
ever.
when before he was born.
Ben,
and
never
they
met
were
him. Never met him.
Dipped.
Yeah.
They don't even have a connection. They have never met. It makes no sense for them to even be able to
Yeah,
do that. And
yeah.
even Usopp's hockey is not even advanced enough to even
Yeah,
do that.
Hell no.
He can't even
Bro,
tap
we
into it
saw
himself.
like the
Because
weirdest
Yasop
fucking
should it
thing.
makes
Yeah.
sense if that is a thing.
Yeah.
It makes sense for him to be able to
No,
do. it.
and-
relaying it to
and-
Usopp, not like
And-
yeah.
Usopp
and-
the other
yeah,
way
yeah,
around.
yeah.
And Usopp, like, we didn't even see him tap into it during Wano.
Yup.
When we should have seen
Nope.
him tap into
Yeah, for
observation.
sure.
Yeah.
So this doesn't even make sense in that sense.
Bro, and then all of a sudden
It's probably
Sanji has
hinting that he's gonna get observation.
Sanji has blue flames. You guys saw that, right?
That-
Randomly his flames just turned blue.
No, the weird
and
thing
he
about
just
that.
fucking gets thrown into
No,
the
the weird thing about that was
Oh.
Oven gave him flames
Yeah.
to make him stronger, and you're just like, dude, like, that doesn't even make sense.
Yo, the entire
Nothing
movie,
made
yo,
sense.
Nothing.
yo,
made
the
sense.
entire
Nothing
movie
made
was just
sense.
combo attacks.
Yeah.
Combo attacks on combo attacks.
No.
And bro, I genuinely did not feel like I was watching a One Piece movie.
Yeah.
It
Yo,
felt
at one
weird,
point,
bro.
it felt like
It's so
it
weird.
felt like they reused Zoro's animation from Wano. From
Yeah.
one of his
Yeah,
attacks.
it did.
It felt like
the animation that they used is the one he uses against Prometheus to cut
yeah,
him into the
like you see him like kind of blitz
Yeah.
forward.
yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
literally looked like they reused that animation.
Yeah. No, because the reason why I didn't feel like One Piece, right, is one. Okay, first of all, a Demon King. Where the
Yeah.
fuck did that come from?
Just-
That's not
Yo,
One Piece at all. Like
and-
somehow this Devil Fruit has Demon King powers. Like
No.
where? Okay, where did this Demon King come from? Can other Devil Fruits have this Demon King thing? What the fuck
Yeah.
is this thing?
No,
where?
it
You know what I
was-
mean?
I don't think it was a
And-
devil fruit thing. It was
No, no,
it was a
'cause-
combination of the devil fruit and the
But
song.
what they were
Right,
what
but
they
is
were
this like
saying-
has something to do with the origin
No,
of Devil Fruits?
But yeah,
Like what
that's
is
the other
this?
thing. Where it's like there's Tote Musica where it's like if you sing this, like this guy comes out, but you have to have the sing fruit to
Yeah.
even
Bring him out. But where does he
materialize
come
it.
from?
Yeah.
Where it's like,
Where
where
does
did
he
you
come
even get
from?
that information? How do you even know
And
that?
where did he
I
come
guess
from?
it happened before.
Like,
Somebody else with a song.
But and
did it.
yo, the other thing is too, like yo, their design for Tote Musica, yo, that's
Trash.
something straight out of fucking Soul
Trash.
Eater,
Trash.
right? Yo, you're
Yeah.
gonna tell me that's not Soul Eater?
Yeah.
I was watching it, I'm like, yo, that's not One Piece design.
The design
That's
was
a
so
fucking
bad.
Soul Eater
I was
design that they
hoping
just threw into this
if
movie.
he at least looked dope, it would have been like some shit. But even the fight against it, it was just random like arrays of shit just going down.
Bro,
And it didn't have a mind of its own.
You know,
and they
like,
were just kinda
genuinely-
going.
I
Yeah.
genuinely
I
thought-
feel like if you were gonna have some Demon King thing pull up,
Yeah.
it had to be something conscious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It had to.
yeah,
Like with something at the
yeah.
level where they're saying it's like bridging worlds in these dimensions or whatever.
And-
it's like
and
it's,
if
it's
it-
gotta
and-
be fucking lethal.
And
you know?
if it's bringing out Gear 5,
yeah.
Word. Bro, also, I genuinely thought that she was gonna have, like, the villain of the movie is gonna be Shanks. Like, she was gonna have, like, a dream
no.
version of Shanks that she created. And
villainized
we'd
because,
finally
yeah.
see Luffy
The other
fight
thing is,
Shanks.
yo,
Like, that would've been way
Yo,
better.
the other thing is
But yo, just wait one
The
second.
one thing that I do like about the movie though, before you
Shut
because you
off.
just
Yeah.
said
Yeah,
Shanks,
yeah.
it just reminded me.
Yeah.
We don't actually see Shanks and Luffy interact,
At all.
At
And I
all.
like
And
that.
I like that
I
they
did
kept
like
that.
that.
and
I
I
did
like
like
that
that.
at the end.
I did like that.
Everybody's
We still
looking
don't see
away,
it.
Yeah.
and like when Luffy looks over, he sees that they're all looking away from him.
Yeah.
But they're,
So then-
but they're all looking at her coffin.
They're looking at her
Yeah,
coffin, but
and
at
he
the same
understood.
time,
And
but
he
he also
understood, and he's kind of
understood.
like,
Yeah.
okay, like he's like, I got it. Like she passed away. And he's like,
There's a third death in One Piece.
But it
Or,
was-
like,
But it's also like the thing where like they're not looking, they don't look back at
Yeah.
like the Sunny or anything, right?
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
they
yeah.
also know that they shouldn't be
yeah,
meeting, that they
It's-
shouldn't
it's
be
too
meeting
early
yet.
for them
It's
to
way
meet.
too early,
yeah.
100%.
right? And Luffy understood that too.
And
He
the
looked
good-
away
okay.
too.
So for the one, so about the good moments. Okay, so one is,
Should we let him go off before?
Just-
do you want to keep going? Just let me like
I- go
splice it
ahead,
in. Let
go
me
ahead.
splice it
No,
in. a
no, go
little
ahead,
bit.
go ahead, go ahead.
So they do mention sword, which you're kind of like,
yeah.
this is like I don't mind them like teasing sword, but they kind of tease it before anime watchers can see it in
Right,
Wano,
right.
which is kind of hurting.
Mhm.
And then, but they do show Bluno,
Yeah.
So you know that he's still alive and he's relevant in some way.
But he
And
hasn't been shown in the manga yet, right?
No,
And
this is like his
this is
first introduction ever.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy just to see that he's back in play. And
and they nerfed him a lot in the movie.
Weirdly, yeah, but like
because like he gets super
He gets
tired.
super tired.
fuck, yeah, for some reason, which we never had that issue before. And then hold on.
Yeah, don't worry, go ahead.
And then
but the music, the music was fucking amazing.
Fire.
Oh yeah, okay.
Bangers,
the
bro.
visuals on Uta's part were like
bangers.
It looks so crazy. Like, that dream sequence, like
bro, bangers.
It's kind of weird. Like it was a collective unconscious in her dream sequence, but it's like the way that she can manipulate her dream sequence. It kind of didn't make sense that way. Like some of the stuff was kind of going around. Like it didn't make sense.
So,
but the cool thing is, so she said that she drags their souls into the spirit, into their world, the singing world.
Yeah.
And you can see that they still have access to their devil fruit powers.
Yeah.
Because that's tied to their soul.
Yeah. Which is cool.
Which I think is really dope.
Yeah.
But then it's like, if Big Mom takes your soul and puts you into something else, you should still have access to your devil fruit powers. So now it's like, and then even when Law does a switch thing with your heart, the devil fruit power should also be a part of whatever you switch with.
That's true.
So now it's like
weird.
It's not stuck to just your body.
First of all, when she was doing that soul shit, okay, in the movie we have like a flashback, right?
Yeah.
Where it shows that Shank's guys defeated Tote Music, the Tote Music thing before.
Yes.
Where was the simultaneous battle at that?
I think okay, so I think
they made a note to say that because she's a kid, she passed out.
Yeah.
And that forced it to shut down.
Yeah.
Because they didn't merge it out.
But it killed everyone.
But the only reason they're trying to do it from both sides is because they were saying that like dying. Because once they do it, it'll intersect the dimensions.
Okay.
Because they didn't need to do that.
Second thing, Utah's natural enemy is fucking Brooke.
Yeah.
A musician who has control over his soul. He should have easily been able to just leave.
He should have been more
central.
Oh, 100%.
Remember when he was stuck to the thing and he was like, I can't read the thing?
You go into your soul
motherfucker,
thing.
get into your soul.
Yeah.
Go out, look at it, get into your body,
exactly.
then sing it.
Shit.
Exactly.
The whole time I was watching that, I was like, motherfucker, leave your body.
Yo, the other thing is, it shouldn't have just been him singing like me and then one person's free.
It should have been Yo-Ho-Ho.
It should have been like, he should have
hit the beat.
He should have had to hit all the notes.
Yeah.
And like,
at
sing,
once,
sing the song, like whatever it is that she's branching together to free them. Not just have because they even had that one guy who was stuck, and then he had Beppo be like me, and then he was just out of there, and it's like that is so weak.
Yeah.
Second thing, Law could have easily countered her. Silence.
Yeah,
she can no longer sing,
dude. When they had the moment where like they actually had what's his face,
Bartolomeo,
the barrier, do the barrier and then put the room on top.
No, but then it was like the silence, but it made no sense. Law should have just been able to silence
her from the beginning.
No, but if they wanted to like put layers on it, put his because he doesn't have the barrier just around himself. He can do the barrier
around her,
or even just like whatever. So you can put a barrier around that and then put room around that where her shit does not go beyond it.
Yeah.
But because of the sing world, it's like she has hacks. So it's like whatever.
So this movie is non-canon, right?
Yeah.
Or like,
yes, it has to be.
Okay, first of all, but
it breaks so many levels of canon where you're just like, this is fucking
it doesn't make sense. So, but Utah's character is canon?
No.
Her character is canon.
No.
Yeah.
It's not.
As Shanks' daughter?
No, it's not.
The thing is, why is it in the manga, bro? It doesn't make sense. You think that was all
It's promotion. That was
all promotional shit?
No, but they did have a backstory in the manga, I think. Like, it was within the content where they had her character actually be canon.
Remember in the manga?
It was in the manga.
It was one of the panels. Okay, it's not definitively Utah.
It wasn't definitively.
Yeah, it wasn't definitively Utah, but it's a silhouette of someone that looks like Utah.
We theorized that it was
Utah.
Her.
To canonize her.
Okay, I think.
But we don't know.
Listen, I think what we can take as canon is that.
I feel like he went, but even if he thought about it going canon, I feel like he went back on it.
I think what we can say is canon is that Uta was this baby that Shanks found, and that is her father, but she died back in that incident when the Elysia shit happened. Not the events that transpired, but that the red hair Shank guys were pirates were blamed for what happened, and but whatever happened was just like it's up in the air type of thing. Because then that I can take that as canon because I like the relationship she had with Luffy growing up and like the way they're like they're like yo no like I'm like Shanks loves me more type of and like even it's just like nice because like
but even as a kid she never calls Shanks dad. She says Shanks. She always calls him Shanks. Like, by his first name.
And Luffy was like why do you call him Shanks right?
Yeah. So
I don't know. I don't see it as canon.
at all.
No.
Yeah, zero
'Cause-
canon.
'cause-
If it wasn't
'Cause-
in that one manga panel though, like,
But
it's
but again, it was just a silhouette. It could have been anybody,
that
and
be?
the fact that he put it in a silhouette, it means that he didn't want to concrete say that it's
Bro,
her.
that Gear 5 shit, like what the
that
fuck?
pissed-
I'm still mad over that,
cheesed
bro.
me too. But okay, the good things about the movie. Hold on.
The
We already went
music,
through
No,
that.
no,
we already went
because
through all of that.
because one thing is they show hockey for Ben Beckman,
Yeah.
and
Oh.
and even just like the weight, and they show that one dude doing a blast
From
from,
his mouth.
Shanks's crew.
Yeah, who does it from his
And
mouth?
we kind of have an idea
He's
of
a
what his
laser beam.
powers might be.
Laser beam or some
Could
sort.
maybe the cyborg or something. We don't-
Yeah,
But it kind of like the time they gave us with Shanks's crew.
that most
It
deaf
was-
is a devil fruit though. So it kind of
Yeah.
like tells us
It was
that
it was
Shanks
just-
is true.
it was nice to see.
right. It has to
Has
be.
to be.
Has to be.
It was
bro.
it was nice to see like what was happening in Shanks's crew. Like it didn't give away too much where you're like
Mhm.
they're showing us all their powers and shit, but it's
Mhm.
showing us their capabilities
Yeah.
while still like giving us like enough to see what we'll see in like the manga and the anime
Mhm.
later on.
Mhm.
Because Shanks doesn't like Shanks is just using a sword and everything he's using with a sword is like top tier like quality shit that
Right.
we'd like expect from Shanks.
Mhm.
Where he one shots the Musica thing. When he's gonna go fight Kizaru, like it goes straight to his throat type of thing, like in
Yeah.
fluid motion. Right?
When I reacted
those
to that,
moments were,
like, because
like,
I don't know if
sick.
you guys saw it in the
I
movie
saw
theater,
it,
I
yeah.
like reacted. I was like, yo, because I was like, why the fuck did Shanks go?
It should have been like
It
somebody
should've
else.
been Ben.
It should have been
Ben
Ben Beckham or like whoever
Yeah.
else is in his crew to be the one.
Yeah.
But I was like, Shanks just went there just to flex on him, like, bro, I'm about to
It's
Yeah.
his
fuck you
it's his
up.
daughter, right?
But I
And
feel
he
like
and he says that he's like, yo, this is a family.
Somebody
thing,
tell
like, stay out
him
of
that
here.
she's
family
not
can
canon.
say that. It's not canon, bro.
It's
Yeah.
the events are not canon either way. But I mean,
Dude.
like in the terms of like what it showed, like from Shanks's crew, I liked it because even they were like, yo, like we're here to save these guys. Like in the Navy's just in there, like, yo, I don't care, just kill them.
Just, yeah.
And then like I thought it was weird that the Gorosei were watching this fucking shit live.
Yeah.
Where
yeah.
you're just
Okay,
like, are you fucking
there's
kidding
two
me? She's
things.
an
Two,
idol,
okay,
and you're
there's
fucking watching this with your
two
TV
things.
out.
Two things with that. One is, yo, they made it a point to say that the world government and the Navy are two separate entities.
Yeah,
Throughout
I mean,
the
it makes
movie,
sense.
they are.
they never say that they're
Technically,
one thing.
they are though, right? Because the Navy's not privy to everything the world government does, and the world
Yeah.
government consists of like Sword, CP0, all that shit,
Yeah.
right? And
But
they're doing
Sword
hidden
is like,
agendas.
members of Sword are from the
Oh,
Navy,
from the
No,
Navy.
and the
'cause
Navy
the
operates
Navy-
under the world
but then-
government.
but-
So you'd assume
Yeah.
that they're one like
Because
collective
the world
force.
government has like the judicial, like Ennie's lobby and shit. Like the world government branches out into so many different things,
Yeah.
and the Navy
Yeah.
is one aspect
of
of
the
whole
world government. So
Yeah.
then, but you would say world government as a whole then,
Well, but the
right?
way
If the Navy is the arm of the body, you don't just say the arm and the
I
body.
think
You
the
say the
I think
body.
the reason why they're distinguishing between the Navy is because people like Kobe and Fujitora are like people where they believe in the Navy and like actual justice.
Yeah.
Where the world government
It's
is
like different.
corrupt.
Okay,
So it makes there's a like
but we don't
No.
normally get that distinction.
We
right?
don't, and
Yeah,
then-
that's what I thought was
and I
interesting.
like seeing the distinction, like especially in the beginning where
Yeah.
like they were saying like the Navy can't help out everyone, so
Mhm.
who do we turn to? And like okay, so like Uta's goal of like turning shit into like the new era, it kind of made sense the way she was seeing like because she's been alone and she's only been seeing people like cry about like the pirates and shit, and they're kind of just like yo, like I don't want to live
Mhm.
like this anymore. So her goals kind of made sense, but I feel like the way it
it
transpired
made no sense after the fact that she realized that Shanks guys weren't actually
No,
the guys.
And she knew that.
And later
all
on,
along.
yeah, and then later on in the story, they're like, yeah, like I already knew that I was the reason for this, but I had already started my career, and you're just
I
like,
can't go
Sure.
back.
are you fucking dumb?
Like, I guess you could chalk it up to trauma, but like, shut
No,
up.
because you're just like, dude, like it
I
makes
can't-
sense if you saw all parts this way, but when you realize that Shanks guys were actually good, and you
It gives
still
you-
continued, that it makes no sense.
She told Luffy to give up on his dream.
Yo,
Yeah.
which makes no.
Which
fucking
that was
yeah.
that I was like on site. I
yeah.
was like, you got on site her.
Because
bro.
No,
What
and
the
it-
fuck?
I like the
if
way-
you know
I
the
like
fact
the-
that Shanks guys weren't the issue, like that
Exactly.
the ones
Yeah.
that did killed
Yeah.
everybody on the island.
yeah.
It makes no sense for you to believe that all pirates are bad.
That I feel like that kind of it fucked over her character. And then there's moments where like I like the one part where she's like laughing hysterically,
Mhm,
like near the
Mhm,
end, and she's
mhm.
like I like that moment.
mhm, mhm.
And then I like the moments where she had with Luffy where like there were times where like Luffy just didn't reply to her because you could tell Luffy's pissed or like
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
and like because
Just
of their past
the
relationship. And
second
I like those moments. I like
Bro,
the moments she had with Luffy.
the thing that I wanted to happen though, like that didn't happen in like because I was saying before I had two things to say. Bro, not once did Luffy use Conqueror's Haki.
That's
Yeah.
what I
You're
noticed
telling me
too.
that
yeah.
he couldn't just
Yo,
knock her the
And
fuck
that's what I
out
was expecting.
noticed.
Like,
I was
what?
expecting Conqueror's Hockey like
for all the fodder.
the minute that Big Mom Pirates pulled up. I was from that point on. I'm like, yo, Conqueror's Hockey at any point now. At any point now, like
Yeah.
please.
We only get it once.
Yeah.
Huh? But
only get it
either
once.
way, just get like let me just
Do
get
we
it.
even get it?
Yeah,
Shanks.
Shanks.
Oh,
When
sorry.
he
But
was
like,
I
but
meant
I mean,
from
like, let me
Luffy,
just
yeah.
get it, bro.
Not from Luffy.
Yeah,
Like, let me get it from
yeah.
Luffy, please. Like,
Yo, Katakuri had like he was
But-
in the movie for no reason.
for no
Yeah,
reason.
no, literally.
essentially.
He was just there for fan service.
And yo,
The other thing is that fucking adoptive father that she had
Yeah.
on the island.
looked like an evil dude, bro.
Not
Yeah,
even
bro.
that. They're mid scrap, and all of a sudden this fucking guy who can barely walk pulls up mid scrap and takes the fucking thing.
Yeah,
to his
he's in a
chest.
wheelchair.
And you're,
He's in a
So
wheelchair.
like-
Luffy's future sight didn't see it happening?
no,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yo, how did this guy even pull up to even come remotely close to like where they're fighting?
Yeah, facts.
It makes no fucking
Facts.
sense that he just pulled up
Facts.
out of nowhere, you know?
But Luffy's future sight didn't see this guy pull up.
Dude, yeah, straight up. It was a waste of money. It was a waste of time.
Yo, but the character designs,
Character designs
were
are cool.
good. Like they switched up twice in the movie, right? You have the initial character designs,
Yeah, and the pirate
which were
ones.
weird as shit. I don't know if you guys noticed, bro. Frankie had gears on his nipples.
I like Luffy. I like
So
I like
fucking
Luffy.
I like the way they look.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that
I-
shit.
No, but then
I like
when they
Luffy's.
changed this to the second part, because
Yeah.
the second one was the promotional art,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
and I was waiting for that. I was like, yo, when the fuck are they gonna change
when are they gonna-
clothes?
yeah.
Yo, but
Yeah.
the way so they like I guess I didn't expect them to show it in the movie where they're like, yo, Elysia was already destroyed.
Yeah.
I feel like the shit I was saying like before we watched the movie,
Mhm.
like so many pods like back in August.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that would have been a way better storyline.
Right.
The way I was saying like
100%,
push this shit to go
100%.
down. Because the way like
Dream
the
sequence,
Yeah,
blah blah blah.
yeah.
Yeah, sure.
The other thing you were
It
talking
made
about
way
the
more
Gorosei
sense.
though, yo, the Gorosei are watching it on screen, right?
they had
And
the mute button on.
bro, listen, you see with that Charles dude.
Yeah,
Okay, he's in her dream world,
yeah,
getting turned into an
Yeah.
ice cream cone, right?
yeah,
yeah.
They're reacting to that
yeah.
in her. So how are they seeing what's happening in her dream world?
Because so apparently, so basically the snails that they had. Also wanted to mention that the snails have SSG on it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that, but from
Yeah.
the so I like that there's like something
Spoiler
there.
alert.
Mhm.
And then but like the snails were also tapped into the dream sequence, so the snails are seeing the dream sequence.
Mm.
So because the
Mm.
snails are seeing them, that's what
They're
that's
also
what they're
seeing-
transmitting.
Sure, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
word.
they made it like that made sense,
Yeah.
but it was kind of just like at one point they started hearing even the mutes not stopping like the singing.
Mhm.
But I was just like, no way, she's about to body the whole world from singing, and even like it made no sense. And I was like, yo, even like her thing of saying like, yo, it's a new era, pirate era is gonna be done, and they're like, yo, 70% of the population is gonna die.
What is she accomplishing with that?
Yo, they don't not once do they show Blackbeard and all these guys
Being
looking
a-
at this
yeah,
shit.
Yeah.
So you're literally killing everyone that's like normal,
Yeah.
and you're not killing a single person that's actually evil,
Mhm.
right? Because we didn't see any evil like actual evil
That's
pirates
true. That's
fall
true.
besides like maybe Big Mom pirates like falling like,
Yeah.
like trapped to this, but it
Bro,
was just,
even again, going back to the opening sequence, bro, the pirates find out that she's Shanks' daughter,
yeah.
and they're like, yo,
Let's
let's
step up.
fuck her up.
No, no.
Are you dumb?
Yeah, are you
they're-
brain
they-
dead,
but
kid?
some of their shit made sense though, because they were like, let's just give her to one of the yonkos. That was their goal. They're like, let's just give it to somebody
Okay,
else.
Luffy's
So that way they
also a
make money.
Yonko next to
Yeah,
her,
they
and
literally
they're like,
call
yo,
him the
let me
fifth-
just pull
They
up on him
literally
too.
call him the
Yeah.
fifth
They
Emperor.
still
emperor.
pull up, yeah.
And they
Yeah.
still
They're goofy for that. They're goofy for that for sure. But they didn't know the tie between Luffy and her, so like.
Doesn't
but
matter,
either
bro.
way,
You
either
don't
way.
fuck your
That's
father
why-
ass pulls up on
That's
the
why
fifth
I wanted
emperor.
Conqueror's hockey, but then they had
Yeah.
Sanji pull up and Zoro and all
Yeah.
that. And you're like, you don't even need to pull up, bro.
Yeah.
Stop. Stay there.
Yeah.
Like, and
yeah.
like, especially with like Oven and those guys being there. If this is Luffy post Wano, which we know it is because Gear 5 and shit,
Yeah,
and all
exactly.
these guys, like Zoro, everyone,
yeah,
literally the amount of troubles they were having with everything made no sense.
100%.
Because you even have Nami with like Zeus and shit, and you're
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is happening? These guys
Not
are
once do we see Law's awakening.
Yeah,
No.
like
Wouldn't
Law
it be
did
cool to
almost
see?
nothing. He's just doing the room shit.
Yeah, rooms.
You just
yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like they just had, bro, like Bluno and Law were just added for transportation purposes.
Yeah.
And why did they just keep Law at that
No,
point?
and even
Why do
Kobe,
you mean Bluno?
even Kobe, they name dropped the Rocky Port
They
incident.
do.
Yeah.
They
Which
do.
is something we don't find out. We don't know this in the anime yet.
Yeah.
It's something that happens in the manga.
in the manga. That's true.
And I was just like, okay, Sword and the Rocky Port thing. I'm like, these are such ill-timed. Like
But we know this
It's-
that in
they
the
shouldn't
movies,
have-
in the movies they reveal
they
like,
reveal shit,
something
but
and then
in
happens
the way
later
that
on.
they reveal it though normally is like they reveal it and you're like you don't notice that what they're leading up to. It's more so like
Right.
it's like hidden in there.
Yeah.
Where like if you're reading you can understand or like later on like it'll be like oh shit like yo they were revealing this in the movie.
yeah.
But these are like clear drops. Like they're like yo
Bro.
he's Rocky Port
yeah.
and Sword and now you're like what the fuck is Sword?
Yo, for the past 4 movies, bro. 4 movies.
Of what?
Rob Lucci has been in the same fucking outfit.
Doing nothing.
Just the
Doing
same
nothing.
fit
Motherfucker
with the
was-
same amount of screen time
Motherfucker
and
was-
not saying shit.
Motherfucker
Like,
was at the TV trying to turn the mute button.
yeah, like
Like,
what the fuck?
I do want to say like it was shot beautifully obviously as like a movie budget.
Yeah.
But like storyline.
Not
was
once did it feel like a
Dude,
One Piece film, bro.
People were saying it's better than Stampede.
No,
Fuck
Stampede is
Stampede was
better.
handled beautifully.
Bro, Stampede is better.
It had the story.
Film Gold is better.
Bro.
Z is better. Bro,
Stampede
I think every other One Piece movie is better. Dragon Ball Superhero is better.
Oh, better, easily. Like Stampede, like it had the story.
I would not watch this movie again.
100%. But yeah.
Yo, you know what's sad, bro? Our first sequence of Gear 5 is in this movie.
That's like a real animated sequence.
Yeah.
But like that opening, like the first time they showed it, like with like the blast and shit, and
Yeah.
shit, that looked cool. And I thought that's all we were gonna get.
Yeah.
Because that would have been a great tease.
That would have
But
been.
then they showed him
Because
still
it's just
sitting
his
there.
face,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and nobody would have
No
really
color
caught,
to
yeah.
it or
Yeah,
anything.
it's because
Nobody
everything
really
was black
caught
and
it.
white, so you're like, oh, it's just like an animation thing.
Exactly.
He's
Brush it
still in
off.
Gear 4.
Yeah, you could just brush it
Exactly.
off.
Nobody would have caught it like as being Gear 5 and it
Yeah.
wouldn't have spoiled anything. But then
Yeah.
you see him afterwards
And it's like
and it's
white.
all white
He has
with his like
the
smoke and
thing.
shit
Yeah.
and his hair.
Yeah.
And you're just sitting there like, there's
What the fuck is
yeah,
that?
like that's clearly not Gear 4.
Yeah.
Because
Oh.
Gear 4 is like red and black
Mhm.
and shit.
Mhm.
Like,
It's so
Dude,
fucking ridiculous, bro.
yeah.
I thought this movie was gonna go so differently. Like,
Yeah,
oh
I'm
my god.
shook, man. Like,
Yo, and like I said this earlier, this is the movie that they gave Shanks.
is that
Yeah.
yo? Everyone was hyped because they're like, we're finally getting a movie that has to do with Shanks, and like, we're learning more about him. And like, I guess we did because they did say that like they actually dropped where Shanks is from because they're like, or actually,
Oh, that's one thing I want to say.
or maybe not where
in the
she's from.
beginning. In the beginning of the movie,
Because they're like
The
because
Gorosei?
because Uta is like they're like that's his daughter. They're like she has this lineage in her blood.
that's what I was gonna say. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I was gonna say. In the beginning of the movie, the Gorosei are like, yo, does that mean she's Fairland species as
Yeah.
well, or Fairland blood as well?
Yeah.
What the fuck is Fairland?
I don't
and
know-
that
I
means
don't know if
is
that's-
Shanks.
I don't know if that's the word.
It was
Fairland?
like
It was something
Fairland or
similar
like
to that.
Fairyland or like something like
Some
that.
shit
So
where
does
you're
that
like-
mean Shanks is not human or he's like of some descendant?
Special.
Descendant, yeah.
Because they don't know that like
yeah,
she's
and I
adopted.
think
They don't know that, but like when they had that reveal that
exactly,
that's her
exactly.
daughter, they were like it was.
So I
so-
think that's something hinting at the manga.
And I'm happy that they like
Did some shit like that.
yeah, because like I said, there
Yeah.
were good moments in this where we get to learn. We did learn a little bit, like very little bit more about Shanks, but we
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Even his moves and stuff, like we're seeing like more from him.
Yeah. Do we normally see people with red hair in the One Piece world?
I feel like it's wonky. It's all over the place.
Not really.
Not red hair though, right?
Yeah.
Not
Red
really.
hair is not like a very common thing.
I think that's like a Shanks thing. Just but like I have to look at it. Like we have to actually go and like.
I
Yeah.
I feel like it's very particular.
So I think it might be like a species,
A species
or
thing,
like
might be.
or whatever,
like,
a race thing.
It like that
'Cause-
land that they're talking about. Like
Yeah.
because I think we know that Shanks is from was it West or North Blue? Like he is not from East Blue.
Yeah, we know he's from somewhere else because of the liquor he drinks or some shit. It was that was like the only
Also,
thing
I think
tying it to.
I think because Law is from the same.
I think he's from
section.
South Blue, no?
I don't remember, but I know
But
he's not from East Blue.
No,
essentially.
I just think that like
so like
the whole Fairland species,
whatever
it was
whatever
called,
he's from,
is-
whatever race it is.
because the movie shows that Rayleigh and Roger found him
In a
as
baby.
we're assuming
Yeah.
as a baby in a treasure chest,
Yeah.
that they could have looted God Valley and found Shanks there.
That
That's
was
what I
that
would've
theory.
thought too.
And
Right?
that was that theory.
That was the theory, and
was
so then
theory.
that
He could've
could
been
mean
from-
that like he's from an ancient kingdom or some shit.
Maybe.
And like
Right.
that's why like it kind of like plays into like why the Gorosei were like yo because it's you we'll give you the time.
And
to
why
do
his
it.
hockey so strong?
Is that guy that you were saying that like was on the wiki? What's his name?
Civic.
He was
Yeah.
a legend,
Civic.
right?
Yeah,
That's where the theory comes from. I feel like
yeah,
He was like legend.
he's supposed to be a
legend.
legend,
yeah,
right?
Okay.
So if he's a legend, you can tie it back to
Yeah.
yeah.
what he's saying.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. That's true. That's the theory, right? Like, but like that was
It's a
a
theory.
theory before this.
It was a
movie
theory
came out.
before.
No,
yeah.
but it was
Right.
when the Japanese release of the movie had already happened, right? So when I
This-
searched
no,
up, I
Was
searched,
it? No,
yeah.
This Epic theory was before.
It was way
but,
before.
but like
before.
I searched up the Shanks wiki.
Oh, and it was already on.
It
There.
was already
It was
on
already on
there
there, okay.
after the release of
Film
Film
Red
Red
in
in
Japan.
Japan. Yeah.
Japan.
So then
I
I was
think
like, yo,
it's
what
like-
the fuck? So there was no way for me to like refute,
Confirm.
Yeah.
or refute it,
I
right?
think it's-
Because I wasn't gonna spoil the movie for myself.
Yeah.
It's fair to say that like, he could be like Zebek's son or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
But and kind of play it in a way where like he's Zebek's son, but he's totally different, and Blackbeard aspires to be like Zebek,
Yeah, yeah.
and like a thing. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like
and you have these two people fight against each other, like
Yeah,
his
yeah.
actual son and someone who's trying to be like him,
Yeah,
which would be
yeah.
cool to see. But again,
Yeah.
fuck this movie.
yeah,
Fuck this movie.
the movie's actually garbage.
Garbage ass movie.
I'm trying to think if we forgot anything to mention because I think there was. see if there's anything good that I missed.
No,
you know,
we can
I
talk
thought-
about the bad.
I thought
I
Yuta was
def-
Lunarian. Nope. She's not.
No, but
We can talk about the bad.
I think like her manipulation of the sing world, like it made no sense. It was like kind of inconsistent in a way, and like
Yeah, it
and that whole
was.
devil fruit thing I brought up, like the fact that the devil fruit came with them,
Yeah.
because you can say like in their
But it's
all okay. The one thing I forgot actually was when Luffy gets water thrown on him, and he becomes useless
Instantly.
instantly. And when I saw that happen, I'm like, okay, sure. If this was Whole Cake Island Luffy,
Yeah.
maybe that works.
Yeah.
But now that this is
Post
Wano
no
Luffy,
chance.
this is not phasing him.
No chance.
Like it makes no sense because he literally did a Sea Stone Prism training.
yeah.
So even like for anime watchers, they've seen a Sea Stone Prism training already.
they've already seen.
So
it,
it's
yeah.
like this literally makes no fucking sense.
That was so stupid to me. By the way, they threw a bucket that was like this big.
Yeah, and it's not
from
even
so far away.
and because it
And
technically
he's like,
it's,
I didn't see it coming.
and water
My
and,
future
It,
sight.
it blitzed.
no,
bro.
and
Like,
water
what the
doesn't
fuck?
and water doesn't just straight up do that.
Yeah.
It has to be like
A body of
ocean or like yeah, like he's gotta like be in a pool. Like he has gotta be in there. Like for him to them to just like chuck it on him because in Marineford he's got water dripping from him when he
Yeah.
comes out of the water.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
he's like about to post up on these admirals.
Just
Like,
sloppy writing. So sloppy.
bad writing,
bro.
And, like,
bro. Like they didn't even care about like
but-
actually watching their own series.
Yeah.
But wasn't
Fuck,
Oda
dude.
a part of this series or movie quite a bit?
How do you know, man?
Wait, right?
Wasn't Oda a part of like the writing aspect of this movie quite a
I
bit?
don't think so, man. I think like he establishes like the Shanks and all that stuff, like whatever. But I think with the movies, like Toei Animation does their thing.
I don't think not once I had a smile on my face. You know, because I know when I was watching
I
Dragon
had
Ball
a-
Super.
I had a
Because when
few ones
Shanks
with, like,
pulled up, and when
Shanks,
Ben
yeah.
Beckman was
Ben
doing shit, and they had a
Beckman.
call back to Marineford where like
Oh yeah,
Kizaru was
Kizaru
like,
did the thing.
you know,
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Okay, I guess I did.
There were
smile,
moments
yeah.
where like that's what I'm saying. Like there
Yeah.
were good moments where like,
It
I'm
was
happy
only when
to see
Shanks
it.
was on
Yo,
screen.
like during
Essentially. Essentially.
superhero, I asked this guy. He'd look over at me and I'd just be smiling the entire
No,
time.
Superhero was definitely a better movie, and I'm kind of
Yeah.
surprised that like
It was crazy.
they threw more of the
So
superhero
much
budget
marketing.
to Red instead.
Oh
From
yeah.
Red. Like they got rid of superhero shit to
Yeah.
go put into like Film
This
Red.
movie,
When
yeah.
Film Red sucked like infinitely more.
Which
You know what I'm
and
saying?
that's why
Like-
we expected this movie to be crazy because
Yeah.
like, the marketing team went ham.
Yeah.
No, but and plus the sales, like you're just sitting there
Sales,
like,
yeah.
dude, like for it to go this crazy, and
No, but-
like with Shanks as like the figurehead,
But part of it too wasn't
You
even
know?
just the sales. Like people were hyping it up. Like,
everyone was hyping it
and
up.
people who watched it in Japan were like, "Yo, great movie, blah blah blah."
You know what? I think it's
I-
because the soundtracks though. Soundtracks were certified bangers,
I-
and I will be adding them to my gym playlist.
Okay, yeah, the soundtrack was fire for
Yeah.
sure. Even like the lyrics and stuff, like they're
Yeah.
actually relevant to what was like
What was
happening. Yeah. Like there are people who are like, yo, I gotta watch it a third time, and I'm like, no.
What?
I
Who
was-
said that?
Arthur, I think, was like, well, he watched it the second time, and then like he's like, fuck, I kind of watched it the third time. He like tweeted at it again. He's like, fuck, I did a
Oh,
thing.
Arthur.
And I'm like,
Like the O'Hara guy.
yeah, Library of Ohara. And I was like, yo, like I understand being a One Piece fan and shit, but like, nah, that movie was garbage.
Yo, we're tweeting at him now.
No.
Dude, what the?
Start a fight.
Yeah, bro.
Okay, so in terms of what we were talking about for what this means for like hinting at what's like gonna happen in One Piece later.
Yeah.
For
What do you think
sure,
we
for
can
sure,
take?
for sure. As we just said, Shanks has passed.
Past, yeah, that like
That's relevant?
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
I
I
think-
think the
I think
race
that's
thing,
it.
Yeah.
with the race thing.
Yeah,
I think that's it.
That's really it.
yeah.
Um,
I also think the only thing that, and this is like I guess manga spoilers, is that his crew member who has that devil fruit,
yeah,
the laser beam,
the laser.
the laser beam.
I can see it.
I think that has to do with the whole like.
I can see
I
it.
think that has to do something with that.
If it's not a devil fruit, I can also see it being a cyborg thing, just because like so far we haven't seen a devil fruit on
Yeah.
Shanks'
that's
crew?
true.
Can you?
But also, I do want to mention like they
Yeah.
don't mention it in or Oda talks about it like outside of One Piece, where he's like, I know that we don't show Shanks' crew like the whole crew,
Mhm.
but he has like a full on fleet similar to Luffy's.
Okay.
Like he
Yeah.
has a grand fleet.
Right,
It's
right.
just that we're always seeing like his like crew, like those
So
guys.
you know how we see hockey
So-
clash,
Yeah.
right? And it kind of goes like back and forth, and then it like I
Yeah.
guess shoots forward
Yeah.
or shoots up.
Okay.
Do you think that someone could use their own hockey to like shoot forward like that?
Like push themselves forward?
No,
Come
no,
on.
no. Like
Well, just project hockey forward, like
like almost like,
like
a
a beam?
beam.
Because doesn't Shanks do that, but in a field of like field
Yeah,
of-
but
Like
what
Conquerors,
I'm
like-
saying is kind of like you know how like they clash and it shoots up and it
Yeah,
hits the
that's
sky.
what you're saying. That's what you're
Instead, you clash here and it shoots that way, and then it hits somebody.
But you clash.
You're clashing your fists. Like
Yeah,
if I'm like this,
or
or
like you
I'm just
clash.
projecting
You
it forward.
clash your you could clash your hockey together or something. Because that was the only way I could think that maybe the laser beam guy is not a laser beam.
No. I could
that
see
maybe he's
I
used
could
for
see him
hockey
being like a
shit.
cyborg or something that they like saved from like an island or
Yeah.
some shit, or like that's a species that he can do that.
Again, going into that. Okay.
You know, I could see it like rather than him being a Delphi, just because like until we like get confirmation. But it'd be cool if he is a Delphi user. Like it's fine.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they need some. It'd be nice to have some Delphi users on his team. What else what are we missing here? So Big Mom being alive still.
The only thing Oda confirmed for me is that Shanks loves Luffy.
Yeah. Bro, why was Fujitora even in the film?
Dude,
didn't use his Delphi once.
He didn't use anything. He didn't cut or he was in there. Like
yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, and then so with Big Mom being alive in the movie, and that we established as post Wano essentially.
Yeah.
Does that mean that like Big Mom's actually like relevant to like the story
know.
again?
Maybe. Could be.
No, we don't.
Because the writing is just so bad.
It's just
like
so
it's
bad,
like we don't even know.
You can't tell what the fuck is
what they're doing with anything. Yeah, so it's like
we can't even tell where it takes place.
No, I know.
We don't even know if Luffy knows he went into Gear 5.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it was just put there. Like,
So
it wasn't,
bad.
like...
Also, like, the design on Yasop changed. It was kind of weird. I mentioned it to you. I was like, yo, keep Yasop. Like, he does not look how he normally looks. Like,
I think that was just an animation thing.
Yeah.
But his hair is usually like a light brown, blondish kind of thing.
No, I feel like it was pretty close to what
it was close enough, bro. It was
even his face shape and like, cause he usually his lips I think are, or like just in general, like his face does not look like that. You know what I mean? Like, cause I'm rewatching One Piece now.
Oh yeah, he has like this. Yeah,
I know how he looks, and even how like they change him a little bit later on too.
Yeah,
but it's still like it looked nothing like what they showed in film, right? And I guess we haven't seen him like post time skip, I guess, but like you know how he had like the dreads and shit. Like you remember how he looked?
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right?
He still had the dreads in the movie.
They were like honestly like a black, dark brown, gray type of like it was.
No, they were brown still.
It wasn't the same. Like you could tell it was completely different.
I guess.
And it wasn't as long and like as like
no, but
nice
his lips definitely did look different too.
I mean, he didn't look the same.
And this was the Shanks film.
The good thing. Okay, actually, no, hold on. The other cool thing about it, actually, they had Jimby wearing Elvis's outfit.
Oh, that was kind of cool.
Which was dope, especially with this being like a musical type of movie.
Yeah.
And they had Usopp dressed up as Kiss.
Kiss. It was Kiss.
So that was like
that was actually kind of cool.
And like maybe like
and maybe they had more musical
but we
references.
didn't notice it.
Yeah, because Brooke looked like a rapper, bro.
Yeah.
He had like headphones.
Brooke
looked
like he could have been like it could have been something there.
Yeah.
But because he's wearing like a hoodie and shit, it's like it could be anyone. I guess like it's not like as like significant.
Dude, he should have been more monumental in this film, man.
A musical film?
100%.
Man.
Like, why would you not take this moment to work on Brooke a little bit more and like put in some
the action sequences were so
lacking.
Ass in my opinion.
They were so
like
lacking.
the only good ones were like the Shanks one because they were clear. They were clear cut what was happening.
Dude, like,
the other ones were just like
they were in the background as she was singing. Most of the time, she would sing and then it'd be like in the background.
Compared to Stampede, where we had a great story, we had a canon character, Bullet, who's from like the legend, whatever, and we had Conker's hockey battle with him and Luffy. We had everyone had their moments of fighting, and again, everyone, even like Mihawk and like
I feel like this
Zoro,
film,
like and like Fujitora cutting like
you
know what I'm saying? We had everyone actually do something, even and they had like
Crocodile, like they had a huge cast,
and they had a roster of like 100 different like characters in that movie,
like Drake, Kid, everyone.
Even if
bro.
the people were just Hawkins. Like a reference where they just showed like a picture or something like as a wanted poster, and they even revealed Laugh Tale, for like the first time there
in that movie,
right?
Bro, Ace was in that movie.
Yo, like so many things,
so much better.
You know what's crazy? Sabo wasn't in this movie.
Oh, word.
Because he's dead.
Yeah.
That's why this movie sucks.
But no, what I was gonna say was the time
place that this movie takes place, ranging from Whole Cake Island to Wano, Sabo was alive. Like
no, but essentially, like Stampede at the end is a huge boss battle.
Yeah.
This same thing, huge boss
battle.
But
that boss battle was way better.
I guess it was like heavily CGI.
With it being like a CGI
and it was
monster,
no need for that even to happen. Like Bullet was
bodying. It does have
that.
Its problems where it's like Bullet was using way too much of his hockey, and that's why he ultimately got murked and shit.
It was more of his Delphi, bro.
Both. Too much of his because his hockey was so strong, where like nobody could actually beat him. But when he switched to his devil fruit and he started using hockey on like a bigger thing,
But
he
why?
was I know it's done
Yeah,
reasoning,
yeah.
but comparatively to this, like Stampede's like miles better. Like Stampede
Yeah.
did so many things right that
Yeah.
this shit just fumbled so like
Yeah.
badly. Like they were racing for the log post.
That was
laugh
sick.
tail.
That was sick.
That's fucking fire.
And again, they arrived to the island.
yeah.
Same thing in Gold. They arrived to an island. You know what I mean?
Even
like this, literally, bro. This was so filler because of the end credit scene too.
Oh,
Bro,
yeah.
the end credit scene, he's like, "Yo, I'm gonna be king of the pirates." Like, bro, that literally happens every other fucking episode.
Yeah.
Like
we
the
don't-
fuck?
We didn't need to wait for that.
Yeah.
That was a fucking waste. It would have been better. Like I thought we were gonna see some shit that's gonna lead to like future arcs or something, but like I don't see. I
Bro,
don't see
we
anything
left
we can
that
pull
theater
from this.
so quickly.
Yeah.
We legit just bolted out of there. We're like,
I
"Yo,
don't
what the
see
fuck
anything-
was that?"
Because usually we'll stand there, we'll talk.
Talk.
Yeah.
It was discussed. Yo, don't go watch the movie. If you're a One Piece fan,
No,
Like, just
Like
don't
I
watch
understand like
Just don't
giving
watch
him
it.
money to like
yeah,
Go
support and shit. Support it, sure. Don't waste your time.
just
Like, buy the ticket and don't
just
go.
don't even go.
Yeah.
Buy the
Yeah, and
ticket.
just don't
save
even go.
yourself 2
Yeah.
hours.
Just don't even go.
Don't go.
Just listen to this pod, honestly, and yeah, you'll get the gist of it.
Honestly, like my overall rating,
Wow.
I'm giving it like a 4.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
Even
know.
then, I'm scared to give it a 4. But to be honest, I like the little things they gave us. I like the little bits of Shanks and stuff that we got, and like basically like that's it. Like this, like the stuff like his race and whatever.
There was no
They
comedy.
confirmed that Ben Beckman can
Has
properly
hockey.
use
Hockey.
armament.
Yeah.
And also like when he's like they're catching bullets and getting hit by bullets and shit, and like you can tell that they have hockey because it's
But
not piercing
there was,
them.
They're not
but
piercing.
there
There's,
was
like, so
no
many things-
like funny moments in the film. I feel like where I was like, ah.
I
it's
feel like
alright,
I feel
don't
like they tried to use characters for those moments as like
Yeah.
comedic relief.
Yeah,
know. Mhm.
there were no
Like
funny moments.
Luffy,
But there was.
like,
I was gonna say there was a
or
funny moment in the chapter though,
Sunny.
where like I forgot to mention it in the chapter that we just
Oh, okay.
recently had.
Okay.
Where
One Piece manga spoilers.
yeah, sorry about that, but the chapter where like Frankie guys all like. Forgot to mention it in
That
the-
part was
yeah.
hilarious.
That was all muted.
And then
Yeah.
and then Frank and then Frankie's just there like, yo, shut up.
Yeah,
Like,
that was
like,
hilarious.
please stop it, yo, yeah.
That was
So that-
hilarious.
was
Again,
pretty
that
funny.
was all muted.
What do you?
Okay. Just beep the whole time. They don't hear none of that. Man, I don't know. Like, I'm sad because like Shanks is like, I know limited screen time,
Bro,
but like he's like
we
such a great character,
The
just like already.
Yeah.
yo the fact that
And
we
like
made
the
it.
fact that this is like Shanks's movie, like where
Yeah.
they were
And we
gonna
waited
reveal
months for
reveal
this.
a lot of
And
stuff about him.
I think they sidelined us by saying like where Oda was like, yo, I'll do a side story
Yeah.
to explain Shanks'
Yeah.
like voyage and like what he's been doing
Yeah.
since, because like he obviously can't cover what Shanks has been doing in that 2 years
Mhm.
that Luffy got and like all that shit, like what he's been doing. So we were supposed to get like a side story, and I thought part of that was gonna play
This
into
movie?
this movie.
Yeah.
At least, but like
Yeah, I guess.
Because when Film Red was announced, it was announced in a way that Shanks was the main character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Like,
very misleading.
okay, this is what I thought.
Very
the way that
misleading.
you were saying Shanks was gonna be the villain, I thought we were gonna see Luffy and Shanks clash.
Yeah, same.
And I was like, as much as it's fan service and like they shouldn't even be fighting and shit.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was gonna be a fake
I
Shanks.
thought,
Like it was gonna be like a
like her dreams thing,
her
whatever.
dream,
But
yeah.
like, just the fact that we'd be able to see them clash, like I thought we were gonna see some shit like that where like Luffy's wrongly on like Uta's side or something.
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
it's like a mishap. Like it's just.
Bro, she
happening.
ripped his hat. I know it was in the
Yeah.
dream.
It
but,
was
like,
a dream, but
that's
that's
on
this.
site.
That is on
That's
site.
on
Like
site.
that's actually.
Yo, like
fucked.
how
That's
does he
on
not just
site.
go rage
Yo,
moment?
No,
Yeah.
and exactly why didn't he? Like, I understand you guys are friends, but if she why would she even do that to your hat?
If
first
you're
of all?
friends, yeah, she should.
Yeah,
have
like,
done
he
that
should have
first.
because like the way he's been like
The
he
hat
attacked
is his
central,
one treasure.
such a central
Yeah.
thing.
His
Yeah.
nobody else can
Where
touch it.
he-
It's
Yeah.
important when he lets somebody
Where
touch
he
it.
beats the
Yeah.
fuck out of Buggy and like Arlong and whoever the fuck touches his
Mhm,
hat,
mhm.
where it's like you're just gonna let her do that shit and you're just trapped there like in her musical notes and be like,
Because
no, I
remember
can't do shit.
when Nami first tried to touch the
Yeah.
hat and he
Yeah.
like tripped out. He was
Yeah.
like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is my one thing. Like, I'll
Yeah.
let
And
nobody
even like
touch."
that, there's that big moment where like on Arlong Park where he gives the hat to
And
To
she
Nami,
thinks back.
yeah.
She's like, "Wow, like this is such
Yeah.
a big moment.
Exactly.
Like he's giving me the hat, like-
Beppo was comedic relief though.
Yeah,
when he's,
see,
like,
they
just-
use
Beppo
characters
was kind of
as
yeah,
easily
Beppo was
as-
kind of funny. Like, but yeah, he's a nice guy.
The
Like,
fucking music, that was a comedy. Remember how like when the guy was like speaking, the old guy,
Bro.
and like his music would just keep playing. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. That's true.
Even if we had seen like Law's crew more, just to kind of tie into like
Yo, Beppo.
that law stuff that happens in the recent chapter.
Yo, Beppo was
That would've
important for
been-
one moment.
Yeah.
He didn't even fight. Like, at least have him fight and go off and like, yo, Beppo doesn't respect on his name a little bit.
Nah,
you
the
know?
respect was me.
Dude, I feel like the cast.
Me.
And even then, he couldn't get it right. He's like,
Me.
just saying me, and he's like, and then he's like, don't rate, and he's like, me, and you're like, no way, he had to do that like 3 times to figure it out.
No, but like, just the cast in this film were all just like B tier characters. I don't give a fuck about Oven. I don't give a fuck about Brule.
For sure.
All you guys are people I don't give. Like, why the fuck?
Promotion,
why the fuck were those characters in this film?
It was false.
You guys are
promotion.
all garbage.
How do you mean?
Like, everything that they're showing us, nothing was.
Dude,
close to
I would have
like,
been so much happier if
What do
Bucky
you
was in
mean?
this film.
Dude, like,
If Mr.
remember we
3
talked
was in
about
this
our
film.
chapter? They showed us like they're showing us like the color spread on the newest
Oh, yeah.
chapter where they have Shanks' crew on one side,
Yeah.
Luffy's crew on one side. They have Kobe, of Katakuri, and Helmeppo. And
They're all in the movie.
but like
they were.
so minor, like such a like it was just dude.
Wow.
I like that she was able to control their like dreamlike bodies and like make them do their shit. But I wanted her to do that with Luffy and have him be
Fight
sleepy
Shanks.
and fight Shanks.
That's what I thought was gonna happen.
And
too.
that would have been cool. Like,
That
why
would've been
wasn't
cool.
she able to control them in that way? Like, I feel like it would have been so easy for her to manipulate that shit
The
in
thing
the dream
is,
sequence.
it
like,
could be an issue of like
as
because
well.
because we're in Endgame. Of
Hockey counters the devil fruit.
Well,
Yeah.
because we're in Endgame of One Piece, and he has so many things creatively planned of
Yeah.
where the story's gonna go that maybe Oda had put Toei Animation in like a creative box where like you guys can only do this much, and if you guys go anywhere beyond this,
No.
then people are gonna have seen it in the movie first,
Dude, the fact
and
that they
it's
still,
gonna take away from my
the
like,
fact
when
that
it
they
comes out in the manga or in the anime. You
the
know what I
fact
mean?
that they still
don't
revealed
know.
what they revealed
Yeah,
is
I
still
don't
dumb
know.
as fuck.
Yeah.
And then like I feel like he let them do what they wanted, like because they already know what's happening because they have information on the manga because that's why they also spoil shit in the anime.
that's
Yo,
true.
I really
Like Toei Animation is just so like
really
so trash right now.
Mhm.
Like Toei
Wanna
Animation is so
know?
fucking bad.
I really want to know how much input and
Oda had.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, it's Oda. Like we can obviously like it's his like we know that he's like goated. You know, like we're not gonna. I can assume that like
You never know. You can fumble a bag or two.
the
It's okay if you fumbled this bag. You know
Yeah.
what? Because
It's
I'm not saying.
it's not.
I'm
But the way that
I'm
it's
not saying.
canon,
I'm not gonna like trash him or anything.
Yeah,
I just
No,
want to
but
know
in
how
the- in
much
the same-
involvement
no, but
there
he
is.
had.
Like he had, just to know, like if he had
It's-
that
it's
much
in the-
involvement, like how did it go this bad?
It's
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. But
Well,
it's in the
the-
same way
yeah.
that Stampede, like Bullet's character is canon, but the events are not canon. Where Uta's character is canon, but whatever the fuck happened in that
Yeah.
shit is not.
But
canon.
you, like you said, there's 3 different storylines they could have done, right? They could have
Yeah.
done the Bond Clay one. They could have done this one, and then there was a third one that you had mentioned, but I can't remember what it was.
Fuck,
You have to
I
pull it
don't-
up, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to pull it up. You're gonna have to pull it up on
The Twitter.
go on our group chat, and I think Arthur mentions it, but the other storyline they had mentioned way better.
Oh, I remember the other one.
I think
It was the timeline one where you would actually go
Oh!
back in time and
Luffy
he would
goes
meet
back.
and he
Luffy
meet the
goes back.
previous owners of the Gum Gum
Mm,
fruit.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
okay, that the
Yeah.
Bond Clay one
way better.
infinitely better.
Yeah.
And he's gonna say that this was better. I saw that tweet where he was like, "Yo, the current storyline amazing. These other 2 garbage." You're fucking dumbass, bro.
Pride.
You're a fucking dumbass.
Like okay, no,
Like-
like Luffy going back in time and being able to meet with like the prior like holder of the devil fruit. That's so dope, especially because like that could potentially take place during the Void Century,
Yeah.
and it could still be non-canon, and
Yeah.
like, but it would just be so cool to just see that shit. Like, I feel like they made their money back, whatever. They did their thing, but like, dude, it's like such a pump fake that we didn't expect, right?
I just want to know how much involvement he had.
That's
just
why it
to
makes me.
know
That's why it makes me.
like
think
how
he
could
didn't.
Toei
He didn't
fuck
have
up this
involvement
bad.
though, right? Because like when he does have involvement, like you know
Mhm.
his writing is like proper. He makes sure that his writing's proper. That's like the one thing, like he's, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like like even with Stampede, like I don't know how much his involvement was in Stampede, but even that was written like appropriately,
Yeah.
right? Like to an
But,
extent, like
I
it was
don't
so
know.
proper.
I feel like
Even his other movies, like they like
Gold.
all of it, like every
Yeah.
previous like One Piece movie I've seen, it's like like they have the One Piece goofiness to it and whatever, but it's like the story makes sense. Like whatever's happening makes sense.
That's true.
You're not just sitting there like what the fuck is
I
this
genuinely
cluster
when I
you
went
know?
to this movie, I genuinely thought that the animation and the storyline were gonna be better than Dragon Ball Superhero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I expected the animation to be a lot better for the fights.
And the storyline for Superhero, because again, like Sal was not like a.
It wasn't crazy. The storyline was like decent. And we
Superhero
called that,
was so much better.
Yeah.
I watched Superhero twice, bro. Like
Superhero was like
You did?
as bad as
yeah, because remember we watched it and
Yeah,
watched it
watch
with
it
him?
with me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But like as bad as Superhero
But
was,
again,
it was like
I'm a Gohan
Yeah.
Gohan fanboy.
Yeah.
But Superhero, like, it had its problems with like the story and shit. But even then, like, what Superhero gave us from like the CGI and like the dynamic like
Everything.
visuals and
Like-
everything
like
that it was giving
Piccolo,
us,
The
it made
Yeah,
up for it.
of
Which
course,
is like
of
why
course.
like we gave it like higher than a 5.
Yeah,
like it was like
yeah.
a 7 or whatever, right? This movie is like instantly below a 5 because it's like nothing in this is enough for me to be like, let me
So-
watch this again.
So the issue with the animation, it wasn't bad. Their issue was with how cluttered their
Yeah.
sequences
screen
were.
was,
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
way too much going
There's
on.
all the
Yeah.
beams
There's-
flying in every
there's
direction.
Beams, there's these combo attacks like we said.
Yeah, like,
Looks like you're
Motherfucker
swimming.
was
Yeah,
Yeah.
like nobody had like actual screen time
Yeah.
to pull
yeah.
off a cool move or show something
Yeah.
different that we haven't seen yet.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Where it's like, wow, like this is sick. Like I'm happy they did this because like every other movie, like we see something cool where you're like you'll see these clips on YouTube and shit. You're like, when the hell did that happen? That's just
Yeah,
sick, right?
yeah.
Yo,
Like
The thing.
with the Conquerors hockey thing,
Facts.
like multiple times,
Facts.
like when Luffy's done it or
Yeah.
like whatever, or when Zoro does like a cool ass fucking sword move.
Yeah.
And like you don't see that in anime, but you see
Yeah.
it in the movie. Like that's
Yeah.
sick. But in this, you see none of that. Like,
Yeah.
I thought like Zoro was gonna do like Asher at one point, and
I
he
thought
doesn't
he
even.
was. Doesn't
He
do
didn't even
shit.
touch that shit.
Nope.
Like,
Nope.
there was not a single move. Like besides like I guess Shanks having that one scene where he like gets up to like Kizaru's throat, where you're
Yeah.
like that's sick.
That's true.
But like other than that,
That's
you're
true.
like everything else just lacked.
Yeah, I mean, but like in terms of animation, it was good. It was animated well. The direction and like the composition, everything else that was going on,
Yeah.
probably not the best.
Like the musical show was nice.
Oh,
the song sheet
I
was
would
nice. The
re-
animation
yeah.
when it came to Uta stuff was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one
Like
thing
the
I have to
musical
say about
stuff, yeah.
animation that like I keep forgetting to like mention, I don't understand the hate for like the TV anime.
The problem with that is like so. I guess I was talking to Buddy because
Just real quick before you hop in that, I never gave my rating.
Yeah,
Probably like a 5 or a 4.
A 5?
10.
Yeah, I give it a 4.
Yeah.
4
Huh.
makes sense to me because
Yeah.
like when I'm comparing this, like if I'm thinking about like, Thor: Love and Thunder, because I gave that like a 3.54, where like Thor gave us Gore and Christian Bale. The amount that like I like
Still gonna
that,
grab the steelbook though. Support.
No,
don't
stop,
get it.
stop, don't say that. None of you guys, nobody do that. I don't care.
Your
But-
birthday's coming up, buddy.
Stop.
Yeah.
Yo, no,
I'm talking about the One Piece steelbook.
no,
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
we're not touching
Okay.
that. Not even
No.
Blu-ray, nothing.
Just gotta give them money, right?
No,
Yeah.
I'd rather buy a volume.
Okay, fair
Like,
enough.
what the hell? Buy a volume for sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, like with what Thor gave us with like Christian Bale's acting and stuff,
Yeah,
that is like kind of equates to what we kind of got from like the Shanks perspective of this.
yeah,
In a way where it was just,
Yeah.
because the Shank stuff like
he carried it.
that
Yeah,
race
definitely
thing, that
carried.
like what race he is,
Yeah.
we can bring that into
There's
like
so many
discussions
things.
going further.
Yeah.
into
100%.
One Piece.
100%.
And as much as like everything else sucked, like at least we got that out of it.
That's true.
So I think like
No, I
a
agree.
4 is like a, and that's that's literally the only reason I'd even give it a 4 is because of those
The songs are bangers.
three and the songs. But it's like the fact that like I rarely like rate movies below a 5 because if it's like below a 5, it's like I don't even want to watch this again.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
So
true.
it's like it's so hard to rate. Like, this might even be like a 2 or a 3, but it's like I don't even know how to rate shit from a 0 to 5 because I'm not used to rating movies
Yeah.
in that
bad.
range.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No,
But
that's
like
facts though.
it's so weird because like
Personally, Shanks fanboy, I gotta give it a 6 or 6.5. Just because this,
Really?
Wow.
but at the same time of me saying that, for sure, like
I'm
maybe
a
I'd
Shank fanboy
rewatch.
too.
Would you
but
watch
still.
Maybe
it?
I'd rewatch it just for the Shank scenes, but at the same time, it's like, yo, if somebody made a compilation. Of,
I
like,
would just
all the
watch it on
Shank- I
YouTube.
just watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's true. I would do the same.
I would
thing.
just watch the Shanks like Pirates parts
'Cause-
on YouTube.
Because
easily.
like you said, when we walked out of the theater, there were so many moments where like it felt like a drag. It was like, yo,
Like, why am I
when
still
are we-
in here?
Yeah.
Because like I literally wanted to leave the theater by like the final act where I was just like, why am I still watching this? But then
It
I was
just
like,
felt long
but then I was just, like-
unnecessarily, but yet the pace was so fast. Like
yeah.
it's so fucking weird.
It was all. It was literally all like okay, like having the whole thing with Bartholomew falling off a cliff. You don't know how to walk, my guy. Like you can't see
Yo,
what's in
and
front
then
of you,
they
and
just
you're
have,
gonna
like,
fall
a
off a cliff.
ping
and then,
pong ball
yeah,
around?
like a waste of
So what was the
animation, a
point of
waste
having the
time.
Sunny in there as like a fucking little cute ass?
That I thought that was cool.
Merchandise?
No, that one for merch, but I thought that was cool because again, it's everyone in their dream sequence. And-
Clawbotterman.
Huh?
You know how like their ships have a soul.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So you think it's that?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was saying like because they always thought of like the Sunny as like a crew member.
Yeah.
So it's cool because like they actually the reason why it got personified as a person
Mhm.
is because like Luffy guys all collectively still think of it as a
crew member.
So that's why it became a thing, right?
Yeah.
So like that makes perfect sense because like nobody else's ship actually turned into that because they don't value their
Yeah.
ships in that same way.
Yeah. But he was like he was in there fighting against
But they
Utah.
but like
I was
like
what are you
Oda's
gonna do?
Oda's drawn that before. Though.
I know,
Like he's
I know.
drawn
Beforehand.
the Sunny
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
So yeah.
Yeah.
Like it had the good moments, right? Like it had like such few good moments, and like for the overall spoiling that Toei Animation has done to me is personally what's pissing me
What
off. Like
to the TV anime?
Yeah.
TV anime and like this
Yeah.
movie where like the TV anime like they had that like I guess the most recent one because I haven't watched it in so long was that reveal of who was in the prison where we don't know who it was and then you find out it's the Kappa guy
Yeah.
Yeah.
where like we're in the manga all you see is a silhouette you don't see shit but in the anime you actually see his lips and you see his eyes and you can see like
That's
he's not-
old. That's an
It is
old
old,
one.
but that's like the most recent thing I remember from the Wano anime where I was just like what the
No,
fuck.
Odin reveal.
Zoro's fucking hockey, bro.
Oh, and Zoro's hockey. Okay,
Observer.
Zoro's
sorry,
no.
Conqueror.
His
Conqueror's hockey.
You were supposed to reveal
That was
that
done
with
fucking
Kaido,
terribly.
and they revealed a sense of that
Yeah.
like in Act 1 of the war, essentially. Like
But-
yeah,
I do have to mention the most recent One Piece episode.
fire.
The fucking sequence between Kaido and Yamato.
It's fire.
Yeah. It was
So
phenomenal.
the
But
Oh my
the point I was getting to
goodness
before we-
gracious.
yeah. Because
so
I need to
essentially,
understand this.
what essentially like their animation is nice and their art's nice,
Oh yeah. Sorry.
but at points where their animation is lacking because of the style of their animation, the style that they're
It's like
because of what they've been doing.
yeah.
When it lacks, you can clearly tell it's lacking.
Because it's like the line work is it's
You can-
softer.
It's because
And
the
they're
peaks have been so high that the lows are more
It's so
noticeable.
noticeable
But-
when they lack.
So like my argument to that to anybody that's hating on the One Piece anime just because you'll have maybe a sequence of 3 episodes or 2 episodes where it's
Yeah.
like bad animation. Then
Right.
you have like this crazy episode like you're saying.
It's also the pacing, though.
For one, their issue is their schedule. These
Yeah.
guys do not get enough time to do what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they're doing this on a weekly basis, trying
That's
to get
true.
an episode out, right? So one thing that they tried to do to help them was give them the same style that they gave Dragon Ball Super Broly, right?
Yeah.
Which is like the line work is a lot softer. There's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
And I like
lines are
it.
a
I
lot
really- I
less
like
rigid,
how
which
Wano
means
is.
that animation can flow a lot better,
Yeah,
which it
yeah,
does
yeah.
when
Yeah.
you do get those episodes where you're putting in a lot more time and
Yeah.
quality and effort into
Yeah.
it. And the sequences that I see where like you do have those crazy like
you watching it?
moments. No.
But what you see online.
What I see online.
Okay.
So I'm talking from that. That's why I asked though, right?
Okay.
I initially thought the issue was they gave auras.
That was an issue.
I don't see that as an issue.
No, it was an issue,
I
and then
do.
they toned it down. It's because the auras
They
were
toned it down.
the auras were too like grand.
It's-
Like it was almost to the
Personally,
point.
it's-
I don't have an issue.
I didn't have
with
an issue with it either, but
because
it was
that
yeah.
because that comes down to direction and the
Yeah.
and the way that they want to adapt it.
Mhm.
I
Just
don't-
because
I
they
don't
add
mind.
style and like that aspect,
That's
to
not
it,
bad.
Yeah.
it doesn't take anything
doesn't
away
take
from
away.
what's
It doesn't,
going
it
on.
doesn't. It's just people
here's
like
the problem
they
is
like
it's
where like it's more Dragon Ball Z.
But that's so dumb.
Yeah.
Auras
No.
and Dragon Ball, like
yeah,
come
no,
on,
no,
yeah.
but hold on. So the
so
issue with
fucking
the
Nen is fucking right.
the issue,
yeah, like
The
bro.
the issues with the aura is that like when you want that level of animation, like that hypeness,
Mhm.
you want it when it's hype. You don't want it all the time.
That's true.
They were giving that shit at moments where they're fighting like that Batman person, and
Yeah.
like
The
moments where like it didn't
yeah.
make sense to have that aura and have them go off in that way. Where
Yeah.
like it should have been more of a subtle thing to show that like this character is not that strong. But when you have that same level of aura on the same level as fight when they're fighting Kaido, when they're
Yeah,
fighting somebody who's not at that stature,
yeah.
like you want to actually have that gap where like you want to have those hype moments like when like Ichigo goes Bankai or something and you have like that aura flowing or like Goku goes Super Saiyan, you have all that aura going.
Yeah.
Like you see like a massive increase, but when you're seeing this, it's like not that big of an increase. And you're just sitting there like you can't really tell how strong this dude is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right? Like
I guess, yeah.
So that was the issue that like I saw at least, where I was like, this is fucked. And then the pacing is the other big issue with the anime.
Can I ask you, had they done like for that fight or like fights where they're like it's a lower level opponent,
Yeah.
and they gave them no aura, but then for like Kaido just to show that they're going off,
Yeah.
and they did give him an aura, would
That'd
you
be
be
sick.
okay with that?
It'd be fire.
Okay.
It'd be fucking sick.
But like what I'm seeing isn't what you're saying. What I'm seeing is a lot of people were just mad that they had auras.
I saw that too. I saw that early one. People I think now have like now that they've been in one,
because they toned down.
Because
They
Toei
toned
toned
it
it
down
down.
because they heard the feedback
yeah.
and they toned it down.
Because when we
But
saw,
I don't
because
see
when
it.
we see that
because
opening
sequence with Killer.
wait,
Yeah.
when we see that opening sequence with Zoro and he cuts,
Zoro has like aura around him.
Yeah.
that's fine.
People were shitting on that
Oh, they were.
sequence because of
That
aura.
was a sick sequence.
You talking about the
And it was
sequence with
Killer?
when he
You
had
didn't know
the
he was
scythe
Killer.
in his
You
mouth?
didn't know he was Killer and he was bandaged
that was
up.
clean.
It was
That was clean.
It was
People
clean.
had an
Because
issue
you-
because he had a
because you see it-
fucking aura.
The issue that I saw was when he does the Ashra. When Zoro does the Ashra in the anime
Against Kaido.
the aura is so overpowering that you don't actually see Zoro Ashra.
Okay.
And in that,
I liked it.
in that
still
case,
I still like it.
in that case, then I was kind of like, oh, because when you see that in the manga, you're like, yo, this
It's
is
totally
fucking
different.
crazy. Like the
Yeah.
tone and everything is different.
But
But then the aura that he has is like, it's like bright
Yeah.
and it's like light, and you're like, oh, like
The issue,
you know what I mean?
the
It
issue-
definitely gives it a
the
different
issue
vibe.
I've had with Toei Animation starts from when they started Punk Hazard. Because since Punk Hazard, their pacing
The pacing
has been such shit
Mhm.
that like you like I literally everyone I recommend One Piece to. I'm like, yo, as soon as you finish like Fishman Island or even in Fishman Island,
It's
switch to the
during
manga.
Fisherman
switch to
Island,
the
for sure.
switch to the manga because
Yeah.
even the anime in Fishman Island was nice. Like it was a great watch. Like I enjoyed it.
Mhm.
But you can start seeing that like through Fishman Island, the pacing starts to like slow
100%.
down.
You know what's crazy?
And then Punk Hazard and Dressrosa are like a drag to like sit
Yeah.
through.
You know what's crazy?
And it's just like it's just so bad from that point on.
What's crazy is somehow they made this movie not only fast paced but somehow a drag to sit through.
Yeah,
Which makes no
that's
sense. They
fucked.
fucking combined
That's fucked.
So dude,
like what the fuck just
I
happened?
don't know what they're doing. We need to talk to
It's a
one of them.
terrible
We
movie.
gotta talk to
It's
somebody.
a
up there.
terrible movie.
But like on the note of like auras, there wasn't many in this movie.
There wasn't. Yeah.
I wish they.
There
had
was
more.
like
I
But
laser
just
beams
Shanks.
and shit going
Shanks
on.
had his aura, but
Shanks-
it was
But
so
it was
minimal.
contained.
It was contained. Yeah, it was
and it was
contained.
on his sword.
The
and stuff.
other thing,
So it showed that he had that advanced armament kind of like on his
Mhm.
sword.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Right, and like obviously like we knew he had this shit, but like to actually physically see it happen, because like I guess there was that argument of saying like when Shanks had hockey during the war, you couldn't see it on his sword. You
That's
couldn't see it
true.
applied to a sword, and we kind of
Mhm.
had the discussion where like maybe when you get to like a higher level of hockey, where
You can't see
you
it.
can apply such a thin coat of hockey that
Yeah.
because you're trying to preserve your hockey, like why you're not trying to full blown have it all like black or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's essentially like the whole Super Saiyan thing.
Yeah, like kind of like have it controlled where
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you don't
like
have
you're
to show
always
it
in
anymore.
Super Saiyan. you don't
But
have to
now,
go Super
but now
Saiyan,
we
yeah.
know it's like now they're just trying to stylistically show that it is
Yeah.
infused with hockey
Yeah, yeah.
to show you like they're using it even if like because obviously like before Marineford like he didn't have a way of actually showing hockey, right? So
colors in that movie though.
yeah, but I just wish they like what like they didn't, the fights were at least done well.
We got a 1 out of 10 over here, a 6 out of 10 over here.
I mean, okay,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, like I'd put it above Thor
4 or 5.
just
that's what
because
I'm
like
saying.
there was more things.
You're at a 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Four
gonna
is
six-
where I'm gonna
six
put
and a
it.
half, maybe.
4 is where I'm gonna put it, just because I
So,
did like it
probably
more than
6.
Thor.
So we got 4, 5, 6.
Yeah,
Nice.
I don't know how you give it a 6, even being a
That's my
Shanks
boy.
guy. Like
That's
that's my boy too. I got it tatted, bro. Like that's my guy. Like I can't do that.
I don't know. The Shanks parts were just nice. Like that,
Yeah.
that was the best part of the movie.
100%.
So I could just look at that, man.
Oh, you know what was kind of cool? Was when she tries to execute Luffy.
Yeah, that's
The
cool.
same way
Called
as
back to
Roger?
Gold.
I
Yeah,
was
she's
like-
like, I'm gonna end the air, I'm the pirate arrow with
Same
you.
way that like.
And I was like, yo,
Yeah.
Conquer's hockey, my guy.
But
Yeah.
at that
Like, one
moment,
time
no, but at that moment I was like, first of all, you don't know anything that's happening in the outside world.
Yeah.
So I was like, for you to think that like killing Luffy will end the era.
Era. Yeah.
I was just like, are you cracked?
Yeah.
Fucking like go kill Blackbeard or Shanks if you think that's gonna end the era. Like,
Mhm.
what are you talking about? Like you really think like that? Man, I was just.
But
That
it was,
cheesy.
you know,
But
actually
it was a cool.
another
It was
thing.
just a cool callback to
Another thing
Roger,
that was
you know?
actually kind of cool was Oda essentially incorporated like streaming culture in the
Yeah.
movie,
Yeah, he did.
where she would stream her,
Yeah.
and so I could see a lot of people like fucking with it, like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, like he's
Even-
he's like tapped in, you know, because like people watch streams,
Yeah.
and it's like the same type of thing, right?
And like, it kind of like to an extent kind of showed like how like our world is kind of with like having like one celebrity take the
Stage,
spotlight,
yeah,
and everyone's watching that celebrity.
yeah, yeah.
So everyone is watching her.
but also like
And
her,
like just like
yeah.
her concert and everything, like
Yeah.
and that show was all cool. So like,
But like
there's some
her,
cool
like,
stuff, but-
because she was kind of molded by her fans, right?
yeah,
Like her
exactly.
fans were in like poor areas,
Yeah, and they
seeing
and
like
they changed the way
discrimination,
yeah.
and so they changed how she viewed what she did, and she was only reaching that fan base
Yeah.
of people who were like had been, you know, it's
Yeah.
kind of speaks to like social media and how you like reach those type of people. But I really doubt that they're going that deep for this shitty ass movie.
Yeah.
Oh, poor film, Red. Could have been so much
Yeah.
better.
So much better.
Could have been green.
Who greenlit this?
Yeah, literally.
Hold
Like,
up.
who
Yeah.
greenlit this? Like,
Oda did that?
Yeah.
Like why?
Hold up. He greenlit it.
I think that's end of our review.
Hell yeah.
We just kind of shit on it for like what, an hour and a half.
Why your favorite anime sucks for real?
No.
Yeah.
My favorite anime movie sucks.
Dude, if you guys agree or disagree,
There's no way you disagree.
let me know. I'll fight you in the comments.
yeah.
No, you
I'll-
already know
yeah.
there's people that disagree.
I'll fight you in the
No,
comments.
okay.
It's okay.
If you guys think that this movie was good and there's things that we didn't like tap into, that
Let
we
us
know
know
about it,
why.
Let us know why.
Tell us, tell us what that was.
Because maybe
Yeah.
we're ignorant to those things, and like
Yeah.
that's on us, right?
Yeah.
So
for
if
sure,
you guys
for
can
sure.
enlighten us, that'd be nice.
And I hope you can, because I don't want this movie to be.
We
bad.
want
I don't
to
want-
like
yeah,
the
I-
we
yeah.
want to like
Yeah.
the
Yeah, like I'd rather bump my shit up above like a 5
Yeah,
in some way.
yeah.
But
And be like,
Yeah.
oh wait, but actually, you know,
yeah,
just
Yeah.
some other behind the scenes shit, like.
yeah.
something. I don't know. Say something.
Yeah.
Anyways, go down there, hit the subscribe button, hit like. Of course, we just said comment,
Yeah.
share the video.
Follow us on Twitter,
At Sane Society. Again, we're gonna have
Instagram.
Instagram and
TikTok.
TikTok coming
Yeah.
up soon. So check that out when that comes. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Peace.
Yeesh.